guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for tuning back into today's video. If you're new, welcome, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and follow me on Instagram. Today's video is going to be all about the foundations that I'm currently wearing, what I like about them, what I don't like about them. My skin is pretty much oily, combination oily. I get more oily in my T-zone and then around my face I'm pretty normal. I'm just going to speak to that aspect since that's the skin type in which I identify with. Some of the best practices to apply these foundations to have it last long, in my opinion, and what works for me. And hopefully it's helpful to you all so you guys can get an idea, depending on your skin type, how it might work for you, how it might not work for you, and hopefully go from there. So the three foundations I'm going to be speaking about today, one is from Lancome. It's the Lancome Tint Idol. I did kind of speak about it just a little bit in one of my holiday looks. Another one is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid, and then my last one is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Foundation. So for the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra 24-Hour Makeup, it is a long wearing foundation. It's medium to full coverage. It's for oily to oily combination skin. It gives you a velvet matte finish, so it's not going to give you the type of finish that looks very powdery, but it's not going to be a very dewy, hydrating looking finish either. It's going to be more of like an in-betweener. So like when you do apply it on, you will feel that it is matte, but it's not going to look so drying and dead like that. Like it's not going to be that extreme of a matte. So that's the one thing I do like about it. It does also have perlite and silica, which are just oil absorbing ingredients. So if you are, again, another person who has oily skin or oily in your T-zone or wherever the case may be, it has oil absorbing formula in it. So that's going to be nice for long days when you feel like you're getting oily. It's not going to be as, you're not going to look as shiny throughout the day because it has those particular ingredients in it to help absorb the oil. It almost reminds me of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation, especially with how it wears. It's medium to full coverage, the same as that one, and it doesn't feel very heavy. So it's more on like the runnier, more very like light side as far as like the texture and feel of it. So that's one thing I do like. When it comes to me in foundations personally, I really like to go for things that feel lightweight and don't feel heavy. Being that my skin is already oily, I feel like if there's anything that's a bit too heavy on my skin, it's gonna just enhance the oiliness and just look really bad. And so I like to go for foundations that don't feel like much on my face, even if it gives me the highest of coverage. You can get it at a Macy's, Makeup Counter, Dealers, Sephora, I think on the Lancome website itself. Another thing I love about this foundation, or about this whole line, is the shade range. There are about, I believe, 35 shade ranges, many of which are favorable to us darker complexioned girls. So that's really nice that you have an option to work from and not just it being 2 or 3. I wear the shade 550C, so it's about a few shades before the darkest shade that they offer, but I really do love it. I feel like honestly it's amazing. It's amazing. It's 47 bucks, so it is on the expensive side, but I really just love it. Like, so I use it like very sparingly so I can make it last because it's not cheap. So I wear this like on special occasions, on events. It does have SPF in it, so it's going to be a little bit, it's going to give you a little bit of sun protection if you're out in the sun. So this foundation, it is formulated with certain type of pigments that are going to help maintain your skin's pH level so that it doesn't oxidize, which is a really great thing, because you will find like with some foundations, especially when sometimes when they are for darker skin, sometimes foundations might turn a little bit gray or ashy or turn a little bit too red or orange. But this foundation, I have noticed it does, when I do wear it, it doesn't change colors. It looks the same from the time I put it on to the time I'm gonna take it off at the end of my days, which is really nice. I really do like this foundation. I think it goes a long ways. It really does last. I usually just moisturize my face. I put on my Becca mattifying primer. Lately I've been using the MAC, I forgot what it's called, but the MAC, it's like a luminous primer, kind of give it a glow on top. Since it is winter time, I don't want to look too dry, and then I just apply my foundation as such, and it's really been doing really great for me, and I have no complaints as far as this foundation. I'm trying to think of any cons. I can't really think of anything negative to say about it, honestly. The only thing is the fact that maybe I do have to use a few more pumps just to get the fuller coverage that I'm seeking, but honestly, that's really all I can think of as far as a con for this foundation. The next foundation I'm going to speak of is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. It also has an SPF of 15. It's a 1 ounce bottle. The Lancome foundation is also a 1 ounce bottle. All of these foundations are 1 ounce bottles, so just keep that in mind. The MAC Studio Fix runs for $29. It is also going to be a medium to full coverage foundation. It is buildable, so you can build it to be that full coverage that you desire. As far as the finish goes, it is a natural matte finish, so again, pretty similar in my opinion to the Lancome. This one is going to give you a matte finish. It's not going to look very cakey or very heavy on the skin as well. This is also meant to be long wearing for up to 24 hours, meant to give you a really just flawless finish and help fill in pores and pretty much just give you that even perfect canvas that you're looking for. I wear this shade NW55. I did get it in a darker shade. I did buy it a few months ago before we really hit into winter, so I was still a little bit dark. Personally, I find that I don't reach for it as much because I don't like how warm of a tone it has. I feel like it's a bit too orange or red in my opinion. I prefer foundations that have a more neutral yellow undertone or a more cool undertone, so that it doesn't look as crazy. So sometimes what I do when I do put this on is I will mix it with my Bare Pro foundation, my Bare Minerals, which I'll speak of next, or I make sure to really kind of counteract the redness with a more yellow concealer when I do my highlight. And I really just pack on my contour powder since it's more of like a neutral brown, so that it doesn't look so red and I don't look like an Oompa Loompa. This foundation is also good for oily skin because it's meant to absorb oil, give you that matte finish, and really just last a long time. So it's a really good foundation. It's 29 bucks. Honestly, it's a great price in comparison to the Lancome one. But like I said, it is going to be a matte finish, a natural matte finish. It's oil absorbing, medium to full coverage. I wear the shade NW55. The last foundation I'm going to speak of is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation. Now before, I previously worked at Sephora, and then I also worked at a makeup counter, and in the whole pretty much almost 2 years that I worked between both places, I never ever went for Bare Minerals foundation as far as liquid foundation goes, because Bare Minerals is more of a natural brand, a brand that caters towards like more people that don't really like a full coverage but want some complexion and want something going on with their face. The foundation that they did have, it was really runny and it separated a lot, and it had like this little ball thing, so of course you have to shake it before you used it, but it just wasn't really for, in my opinion, people who really wanted like a full glam look and a full coverage type of look. But then this came along, and I remember I had a training and some vendors from Bare Minerals came and they spoke highly of it, and they gave us a great information about it, and they matched me. I wear the shade Truffle, and honestly I was actually really shocked at the fact that, for one, it matched me, 2, the coverage was amazing, and 3, it really actually does last and it doesn't come off once it sets. Like, I kid you not, it's legit. So this foundation, it is just full on full coverage foundation. It's pretty much for all skin types. It goes for dry, oily, combination, sensitive skin. Since they don't use any harsh chemicals in their products, it's going to be good for pretty much any type of coverage. I will say though, as far as the range of foundations that I could remember, most of them are pretty on the like more on like the yellow, mostly yellow undertones. So if you are someone who has like a pink undertone or a red undertone, you won't really find a foundation that'll like match that undertone unless you're looking to counteract that. So then of course you could be matched to another type of foundation so that you can cover any blemishes or whatever undertone that you don't really necessarily like. This foundation runs $34. So it is a matte finish as well. It is meant to last you up to 24 hours as the other two. They have 30 shades to choose from. I remember in store they didn't have all the ranges, but if you go on their website, or if you go to Sephora.com, you're gonna see pretty much all the ranges that are available. One thing I like about this foundation, it is lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy at all. It wears really well. It blends really well. However, I will say it sets quickly, so like you want to work quickly when you apply it, like really blend it out quick, because once it sets, it's not moving and it's not very forgiving, so you really do have to move quickly with it. Another thing, it is matte, like it's actually quite matte. Once it sets, if I don't blend it quickly and if I let my mattifying primer sit for too long and then I put this on, like you can see patches. You'll be able to see patches, like dry patches, because it's so mattifying on top of the mattifying primer that I'm already using. So you want to make sure you kind of get that even balance as far as timing as to when you put on your primer and when you apply this foundation, because it's quick. So the Bare Pro foundation, it's actually going to have an SPF of 20, so it's going to be a foundation that's good for the skin and looks good as well. So this foundation is going to be formulated without any parabens or sulfates, so it's not going to really have any of those harsh chemicals. So if you're someone who is really like particular about your ingredients and what goes into your makeup, Bare Minerals is going to be a good brand for that, because it's not going to have any harsh chemicals or harmful ingredients. They're really environmental friendly brand, and they're really conscious as far as skincare and being safe. So that is Bare Pro. These are my opinions, these are my thoughts, and these are the 3 foundations that I'm currently wearing. Sometimes I will mix the 3 foundations, like not all at once, but sometimes I will mix these 2 when I wear it, because this is more of like a yellow tone. And so since this is too red for me, sometimes I'll like mix the 2. And also to give them more coverage with my makeup foundation today, I am wearing a combination of these 2, mostly of the Lancome one, but I mixed a few pumps of the Bare Pro as well to give me this flawless look. If you have any questions, please do leave them down below in the comment section. If you have any suggestions or if there's something I missed, go ahead and leave that comment or those questions and suggestions down below. I'll be sure to respond and share any helpful tips. Maybe there's something I don't know about these foundations, or there's something I could be missing. I'd love to hear them. We could all help each other out. Sharing is caring. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. If this was helpful, please do give it a thumbs up and share it. Subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. I'll see you guys next time.